Welcome back, family, to NorthsideLDN. Caramba, Northside have hope, bro. Arsenal version. Filhos da puta. Quem estão a falar para mim agora? Do you know what I'm saying? Arsenal 5. Listen, I'm over the moon right now. I can't even lie. What a performance. What a performance. I've been saying we needed to continue winning after the performance against Liverpool. You know what I mean? Man, I had to come out with the Versace shade to show these Filhos da puta. You know what I mean? It's going to be a happy reaction today, because what a performance today. What a performance. Absolutely sourcing from the start of the game. Absolutely putting these Filhos da puta, these Burnley Filhos da puta to bed. These maricas da merda. This is what I'm talking about. Putting teams to the sword. Today, for me, Odegaard was absolutely sourcing. Weight of passing, going forward, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Northside, Ric Flair, Filhos da puta. You know what I mean? Another win, Filhos da merda. For all the people that call me toxic and negative, bro. Let me put on the Versace shades again. The Northside have hope. You know what I mean? North London version. Filhos da puta. Don't brincar comigo, okay? Today, what a performance. Defensively, we didn't give anything away. Going forward, absolutely sourcing, creating so many chances, putting this team to bed. Arsenal had 65% possession. Burnley had 34. Arsenal had 16 shots in total, 7 on target. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Putting teams to bed, caramba. God willing, we win the league. God willing, we win this league, Filhos da puta. The Rock has returned, Filhos da puta. You know what I mean? Let me take off the shade. Let me take off the shades. You know what I mean? Because we ain't won the league yet. You know what I mean? We ain't won the league. So it is what it is. But I'm very happy. Let me crack open the beer. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah? Arsenal are actually caring about my blood pressure, because what a performance today, man. What a performance today. And listen, after Liverpool winning their game, we needed to perform. We needed to win our game. And we did so convincingly once again. And we're building on the win against Liverpool, the win against West Ham. And that is what I've been asking for. Yeah, consistently put these teams to bed, win every game possible. Every next game is a must win if we're going to win a major honor. And this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. When we look at the front, let's get into what I thought about the players. For me today, Saka was absolutely sourcing. His distribution in finding Havertz in the box, it was passing also into Trossard in the box. Listen, if they weren't so wasteful, Havertz and Trossard, we could have won this game, 7-8-0. There was chances from Trossard. I know he scored at the end, but there was chances for Trossard to bury this team, and we could have scored a lot more. But it is what it is. He got his goal in the end, but Saka was immense. Every time he got the ball, he was looking forward. Every time Saka got the ball, he was taken on his man. His distribution today was 10-10. I think everything about Saka's game today was excellent. His finishing, the way he took his penalty, his second goal in open play, the way he was distributing the ball, the way he was taking on his man. Do you know what I mean? The way he was reading the game. Everything for me today from Saka, SMO Tropa. This is the Saka that I like. This is the Saka that I want week in, week out. We know that he can perform to this level, and I need to see it week in, week out. And so far, Saka's really turning it around after having a slow start to the season. He's really turning it around. Man, he's definitely reaching another gear. So big up to Saka. Very happy with Saka today. Very happy with Saka's performance. Trossard, for me, wasteful at times in front of goal. At times, miscontrolling the ball. He had chances in the box, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, hitting it wide. But eventually, he got his goal. And listen, I'm not going to go too hard on Trossard because he's getting played out of position. He's a winger. Because of our injuries, he's getting played through the middle. I was happy for him to get a goal because that will keep him having more and more confidence. I'm not going to absolutely rip into Trossard for missing, for me, at least 4 or 5 chances Trossard had in this game to find the back of the net. But ultimately, he scored and he's filling in a position that is not his main position. So for that, I can only give him praise. I think Trossard wasn't as good as he was against West Ham. Let's be real. A lot of times his control was wasteful. His passing was a little bit off, and he wasn't as ice cold in the box. But ultimately, he got his goal. And you create your own luck. And he didn't stop. He didn't put his head down and allow that to get him down. And big up to Trossard, man. Big up to Trossard. In the end, he got his goal. And yeah, man, on to bigger, better things. I think the next game, he needs to up his performance. We need more from Trossard. At times, just losing the ball, He just didn't have that killer instinct today. The way he took his goal against West Ham, you'd say, yo, he had his shooting boots on. Today, it was a bit more wasteful, but ultimately everybody stepped up. So listen, that didn't really cost us too much. There was times as well where Trossard could have passed the ball. I think he was a bit too selfish. There was a chance where Martinelli, he could have squared it to Martinelli and he tries to go round the goalkeeper. I'm thinking, why? Just literally, just either smash it top bins or pass it to Martinelli that's open. Literally, Martinelli would have just tapped it into an open goal, completely unmarked. But listen, we move on. We know that Trossard's not an out-and-out striker, and we know he's doing a job. And I think, listen, even though it wasn't his best performance, it wasn't completely trash. He still scored, and it wasn't his best, but it wasn't his worst. And he's playing out of position, so I'll give him a pass. Moving on to Martinelli. I think Martinelli today was very, very good, getting into the right places at the right time. He was unlucky today at times. He was in the right place at the right time, and Trossard wasn't squaring the ball to him. There was another time that Saka was on the break. He should have squared it to Martinelli, but the Burnley defender just about got to it. But I think Martinelli, his passing was very good. His runs was very good. The way he was reading the game, the way he was getting into dangerous positions. All he lacked was a goal, really. That's all he really lacked. But I think he played very, very well. I was very impressed with Martinelli today. Very happy for Martinelli. So, yeah, big up to Martinelli. And, yeah, I was happy with Martinelli's performance today. I can't lie. Then we go on to Odegaard. For me, man of the match. The last 2 games, I've been cussing Odegaard because I feel like he's very inconsistent. There's games where he goes forward and he dictates play and he actually, finds the front three and he actually plays passing to open up the defense and cut through the defense. Today, he did that once again. I praise Odegaard against West Ham, and I'm praising him again today. I think Odegaard, the last couple of weeks, has been very, very good. Very good. Getting the ball, his passing, the way he took on his goal as well. That cross from Martinelli to find Odegaard in the box. Literally just stopped the ball, smacked it first time. These are things that I've been wanting Odegaard to work on. There's too many games before where Odegaard has taken too many touches, allowing defenders to get in front of him, allowing defenders to block him or mark him out of the game. Now he's a lot quicker with his decision making. If he's going to shoot, stops the ball, doesn't look for a second, third pass, smacks it first time. I think the way he smacked that goal, big up to Odegaard, man. Literally, this is exactly what I want to see week in, week out by Odegaard, because he has the ability. He's just inconsistent with it, but he's definitely been consistent since we've come back from Dubai, and you can only give him praise. When I see the team or the players address things that I've criticized, when they address it and when they perform, I'll give them praise. That's how it goes for me. You know what I mean? And I think Odegaard today was relentless. For me, he deserved to be man of the match. For me, he's my man of the match. I think he was absolutely relentless. He was relentless against West Ham when we made substitutions. And even when we made substitutions in the 80th minute, in the 70th minute, he kept still going forward, still looking to create chances for Nketiah, still looking to create chances for Reece Nelson, still influential in the game. So big up to Odegaard. Big up to Odegaard, man. This is now the level that he has to keep up to the end of the season. I think Odegaard was absolutely fantastic. The way that he created opportunities and assists for others, the way he took on his shot, the way he was looking forward and being direct with the way that he's playing, not just going through the motions, playing a safe pass. I feel like now he's actually really performing and actually being influential in games throughout 90 minutes. And that is what I call a performance. Being influential for all the minutes that you're on the pitch, actually bringing more to the team and creating more for the players around you. And I think Odegaard, for me, man of the match, 100% man of the match for me. If you lot got another man of the match, or if you think it's another player or another player deserves more praise than Odegaard, let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, let me know, man. But listen, bruv, it's been so nice to watch Arsenal and just be chilar, calmo, não tenho estresse, estamos aqui, tipo que eu tô na praia, tipo que eu tô de férias. É isso que eu quero ver, caramba. This is what I want to see. You know what I mean? I chillad. Watching the game, chillad. You know what I mean? Going in at halftime, I chillad. I descansad. You know what I mean? No stress. This is what I want. Declan Rice today as well played very, very well through the middle. I think he played very well. I think Declan Rice, we've come to expect that from Declan Rice. I think most games he performs well. And I think Burnley didn't really do much to him. But I think he performed really, really well. Kai Havertz now. Now, I know, and this is where some filhos da puta, oh, no, so you're complaining. Não quero saber nenhuma porcaria, bro. Havertz, for me, is filho da puta que não merece estar aqui no Arsenal. I'm sorry, Havertz is trash. Havertz is trash. I don't care if he put the ball through the defender's legs and then scores a goal. Good goal, but for the time that he was on the pitch, bro, this guy is a bum. A bum. How many times did Odegaard give it to Havertz on the plate? You're in the box, and this guy's miscontrolling the ball, giving the ball away, the ball rebounding off of his leg, and he's in the box completely unmarked. All he's got to do is control it in the box, shoot, score. How many times does Saka give Havertz the ball and he's miscontrolling it, hitting it out of play, kicking it all over the place? Nah, I'm sorry, man. This guy's not a footballer. I'm sorry. Havertz, that filo da puta is trash. And I don't care about that he scored a goal. The guy was trash, bro. The guy was trash. Yeah, this guy can't control the ball. This guy does not know how to read the game. This guy can't run with the ball, always fooling around. I'm sorry. We keep winning despite of Havertz, in my opinion, yeah? Despite of Havertz. He is bringing nothing to this team. Out of everyone, once again, this German filo da puta is not the reason, that we're winning games. I don't see what he is bringing to this team. And man are telling me, oh, but he scored a goal at the end. Bro, use him as an impact sub. He can score a goal at the end, same way. Because what did he do for 90 minutes? What did this marica da merda do for 90 minutes? This filo da puta is so crap at the most basic abilities in football. It's incredible. It is incredible. How can you be a professional footballer, Kai Havertz? You can't control the ball. You can't dribble. You can barely pass. You can't shoot. Bro, nah, this guy's a bum. Absolute bum. Yeah, and despite of Kai Havertz, he ain't going to ruin my match reaction. Eu tô contente porque ganhamos esse jogo. E essa é a coisa mais importante, filhos da puta. You know what I mean? But I don't want to see Kai Havertz no longer, man. I'm done with seeing Kai Havertz. Tô cansado desse filho da puta. I can't lie to you. I'm done with seeing Kai Havertz. I don't want to see Kai Havertz starting the game anymore. We already established that all this guy will give you is a random goal. If he doesn't score, he offers you nothing. I don't understand why this guy's always playing. And bro, despite him playing, we are still sourcing. We are still sourcing. Martinelli was creative today, influential in the way that we played. Saka was influential in the way that we played today. Odegaard was influential in the way we played today. Do you know what I mean? Trossard had games that he's been influential. Where in the hell has Kai Havertz been influential in the way that we play? Bro, he's rubbish, man. You know what I'm saying? He is pants. I don't care. I don't ever want to see Kai Havertz again in the Arsenal shirt, man. I don't rate this guy at all. He has to be the deadest player that we have in this team. I don't care what no one tells me, bro. He is woeful, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's up there with poor control. I actually think Nketiah's got better control than him. But whatever, man. You know what I mean? Whatever. Like, for me, Kai Havertz just scoring a goal. I'm sorry, bro. This guy is stinky, bro. Absolutely stinky. I think Kiwior did very well. Kiwior played well. Defensively, he played well. There was once or twice where his distribution wasn't the best at times in the first half. But overall, I think defensively he was very, very good, very solid. Kiwior didn't allow them to have any space in behind. He was marking his man. He was defending properly. He wasn't rash. Since the Luton game, since he's been selected since the Luton game, it seems like he's taken out the rashness in his game. And I hope it continues. I hope it continues because that I'll never forget that tackle on Townsend. You should have seen red. Since then, I haven't seen him have a bozo moment. And I think he did well. He did well against Burnley. He did well against West Ham. And since he's filled in on that left-hand side, he's actually been decent. He's actually done his job. So give props to Kiwior in this game. I think he's done well. I think Kiwior performed well this game. Gabriel and Saliba, they didn't have much to do. They didn't really have many questions, given at them and stuff. I think centre-backs played well once again. They had a little bit of a blip against Nottingham Forest. Against Awani. Since then, I think they're really performing properly and cutting out the silly mistakes. You know what I mean? Since the mistake with Diaz, I think they're playing really, really well. You know what I mean? It's mad. It's really, really mad. Listen, I like Gabriel and Saliba. I just wanted them to cut that nonsense out of their game. But Ben White as well is playing really, really well. A lot of confidence as well from Ben White. I think Ben White is performing and played really well this game. But listen, it was just a nice game, man. It was a nice game. I wanted us to score even more. We could have scored even more. And isn't that nice? Like, for this, how many games that we have where we're like, bro, like, it's looking like we're holding on. And now we're going up against West Ham and Burnley. And regardless, that wherever you see these teams, it's nice to watch these games and think, rah, if Trossard finished all his chances today, we could have won this 8-0, 9-0. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if if our front three saw Martinelli's runs and made the right decisions, and Trossard released the ball to Martinelli, Martinelli had enough chances in this game as well to score a brace, at least. Do you know what I mean? It's nice watching a game feeling like, yo, we won, and we won convincingly, and we could have won by a lot more. Like, I can take a lot more from this game, and I've been saying this, and the reason I was so annoyed this season is because I've been saying this controlled football that we started with this season does not suit this group of players. Playing expansive football is what suits these players. All we needed was a striker. All we needed was good options off the bench to add to what we created last season. And now that we're reverting back to the way that we played last season, we look way more convincing. We look way more convincing. And we're controlling games by being in front. We're going in at halftime already with the game almost won. We went in at halftime against West Ham, the game done. Today we go in at halftime, was it 2-0? And the game is done. The game is done. We come out within a minute or so, we score 3-0, set pace once again in the second half, control the momentum of the game. And this is the thing when people are telling me, oh, but we're trying to control the game these days. You don't have to just control a game by getting a 1-0 and sitting back, holding on. I feel like that's a very risky way of playing football. Put teams to the sword, and then when you're 3-0 up, 2-0 up, then go for the third, look for the third or the fourth, and keep playing like that, because attack is a great form of defense. It doesn't always have to be, oh, sit back, invite pressure, especially against a team like Arsenal, that we have players that like to be expansive. They like to go forward. And now we're getting the best out of everyone. When we was playing the controlled football at the start of the season, even our best players from last season weren't looking as good. Saka wasn't looking as good. Odegaard wasn't looking as good. Trossard wasn't looking as good. Martinelli wasn't looking as good. All these players weren't looking as good that were really, really good last season. Really good last season. Now we're reverting back to the football of last season. Odegaard stepping up. Saka stepping up. Yeah. Not only in goals, but in performances for 90 minutes. Trossard is now sourcing. Do you know what I mean? Martinelli's now sourcing. Everybody's looking better when we have now reverted back to the way that we're playing last season. And this is what I wanted. This is why I said this, the new football that we started, that Mikel Arteta tried to inherit this season. I said, no. The team don't look as good. It doesn't look as convincing. Now that we're reverting back to last season's football, everyone is turning up now. Everyone is turning up. Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone is putting in a shift. And listen, I can only be happy. Listen, vou tomar a minha cervejinha aqui. Estamos aqui a celebrar. Não quero saber de nada. Vou pôr emoji. Che. De Versace. Che, não brinques. Ha. Estamos aqui com estilo, meu. Estamos aqui com estilo. We're celebrating with style, filhos da puta. You know what I mean? Então, listen, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It's crazy. Oi, that's nice. San Miguel, you know what I mean? Just enjoying, you know what I mean? Just enjoying life. You know what I mean? There's them to enjoy. We have to enjoy, you know what I'm saying? I have to enjoy a little bit. I've had too much stress supporting this club for 20 years. This is all I wanted. All I wanted was this club to start performing, bro. You know what I mean? And actually move like a big team. And the way that we performed today, the way we've been performing over the last couple of games, come on, bro. 5 goals. Come on, bro. Look at the goals that we've been scoring, man. You know what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. This is the standards. You know what I mean? And what's funny is, yeah, nobody calls it toxic and negative when the standards are reached. You know what I mean? When we go to the standards that I want, no one's calling me toxic and negative for one day. Everybody's happy. I wonder why. Because it's about winning. You know what I'm saying? We've scored what? 5 goals today, 6 goals, 11 goals, 11, 13, 14. We scored 14 goals in the last 3 games, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Putting teams to bed, so maricas da merda. Toma, seus porcos da merda. You know what I mean? Nah. You got to listen, bruv. I've needed this, man. I've needed this. I've had high blood pressure. You know what I mean? High blood pressure for how long? This is all I wanted. All I wanted was this football club to move serious and win games that we should be winning and packing out teams the way we should be packing them out, bro. Pause. You know what I mean? Smashing these teams, bro, instead of holding on. Yeah, and it being squeaky bum time against Nottingham Forest and teams like that. This is exactly how we should be performing, bro. You're content. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. Listen, I'm still skeptical about Arsenal winning the league, but we're doing what we need to do. Every game that is a must win, we are winning at the moment. And you know what I mean? Long may it continue. I want to win the league, man. I'm sick and tired of talking about not winning the league. I want to be happy. You know what I mean? I want to be smiling at the end of the season. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to be wearing these Versace shades because we won the league. I don't want to be stressing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be stressed, just cussing out the whole team. That's not what I want. I want to win. Let's get into the highlights of the game. It started off Martinelli crossing to Odegaard. Odegaard shoots, makes it 1-0. Really well taken by Odegaard. Ball from Saka to Trossard. Instead of squaring it to Martinelli, who's unmarked, he tries going around the keeper and it's saved. Very selfish from Trossard, and he should have just released it, really and truly. But he holds on to the ball. It is what it is. It is what it is. Saka ball into Havertz in the box, unmarked, and he miscontrols it. This is what I'm saying about Havertz, bro. Like, Saka's giving it to him on a plate, and Saka did very, very well. You know what I mean? Saka did very, very well in terms of his distribution to find Havertz. But Havertz, you've got to bury that. You've got to bury that chance, bro. Miscontrolling the ball once again from Havertz. On the break, Trossard loses the ball with a heavy touch. This is the thing. Trossard today, he wasn't as good as he was against West Ham. Really wasn't. Against West Ham, he was sourcing, composed on the ball, controlling the ball. His distribution was 10-10. His crossing was 10-10. The passing, weight of pass, everything was 10-10. Today, Trossard was really struggling to control the ball. I can't lie. But it is what it is. Saka ball into Havertz in the box. Burnley defender clears it. Ball into the box from Odegaard to Havertz. He miscontrols it again. Then Trossard mishits it. This is what I'm saying. This is what both Saka and Odegaard were given so many chances to Havertz in the box, and the guy was just literally just blundering all them chances. I don't know what that guy was doing, but they're telling you about this German Doctor Who, man. This guy's a bum. I don't know why he's still at this club. He's dead. I don't care if he scored a goal. He's dead. Absolutely dead. The guy ain't influential in games. The guy, if he doesn't score you a goal, does nothing. For the time he was on the pitch, the guy was trash. Absolutely trash. Odegaard and Saka giving you opportunities and chances on a plate, and you can't take them. You can't even control the ball. And you cost £65 million for this. Odegaard to Havertz, then to Trossard. Defender gets the ball. Trossard goes to the ground, pen, and Saka takes the pen, makes it 2-0. I don't think that was a penalty. I think that was a very light penalty. The defender wins the ball. The defender wins the ball, and yeah, Trossard goes to ground. But I felt like nah. I felt like Trossard milked that penalty. I don't think it was a penalty to Arsenal, but we'll take it. We'll take it. I ain't gonna argue about it, but we'll take it. But I don't think that was a penalty. I can't lie. I think Trossard made a meal out of it, if I'll be completely honest. But it is what it is. Let me know in the comments. Do you think that was a penalty? Do you think that that was a penalty all day, every day? Or do you think that Trossard was milking it? Let me know. Let me know in the comments down below. Saka ball into Trossard, flick to nobody. So I'm saying Trossard just either not controlling the ball or giving it away at times. Very, very frustrating. But listen, we went into halftime at 2-0. We come out, and within, 5 minutes, Odegaard ball to Saka in the box, and he makes it 3-0. You know what I mean? What a ball from Odegaard. And this is what I'm talking about. Odegaard and Saka today were instrumental to everything that we were doing today. Yeah, and big up to them, man. You know what I'm saying? Big up to them. And they were immense today. I think that they were the ones that were creating everything today. Odegaard and Saka. Odegaard dropping deep, winning the ball back. Martinelli to Trossard hits it wide twice. That's what I'm saying about Trossard being wasteful today. This is what I'm saying. Then what do we have? Havertz hits it straight at the defender. Trossard scores off the rebound to make it 4-0. So I'm saying, once again, you give Trossard another opportunity. Man's hitting it straight at the defender. You know what I mean? Luckily, Trossard out of that. Trossard gets his goal. But yeah, man, it is what it is. Havertz in the box, pass to nobody. Martinelli crossed it in Nketiah in the box, who heads it wide. Havertz on the break, through the defender's legs, and makes it 5-0. Now, I'm going to put the link out for anyone that wants to jump on and have their say. And yeah, man, mad thing. Absolute mad thing. I'm happy, man. Listen, I'm going out of London today. I'm going out of London. And yeah, man, listen, I'm going to have a nice trip. We're going to be watching Tottenham tears. You know what I mean? Watching them cry, watching them get triggered. You know what I mean? They got the Tottenham back. You know what I mean? You got your Tottenham back for you, stop. You've got your Tottenham back. What can I say? You know what I'm saying? Losing like that to Wolves, yeah? Man telling me about Tottenham back, Yo, Natstar, what you telling me, bro?
Yo, what's good, man? What's good? It's been a
Yo,
while.
we're in the mud again. We're in the mud again.
Yeah, brother. Like, it's nice that basically we're going back to basics, isn't it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So, in terms of like the way we're playing, it's a lot better. Yes, you know, I was watching the game and I was just like, and especially being up at Burnley, we know it's not the most glamorous place to go and all of that, but like it was a nice sort of like slick surface, and I thought maybe it's just me, but I'm just sick and tired of like modern day ballers and all that just fizzing the ball, you know, like making it impossible for them to like trap it, and they can't even trap it anyway. But either way, yeah, either way, great performance. Arteta's like very, very slowly but surely starting to realise that the more he overcomplicates it, the more he's going to shoot himself in the foot. You know what I mean? And, you know, I was disappointed with Trossard today, you know, 29, you know, doing the shameless act and all that. But look, it is what it is. He got the goal, fair enough. Martinelli. Now, I want to talk about Martinelli because I've been wanting to say this for a while, yeah? Martinelli, yeah? I do rate him, but, you know, he's at a critical point, like in his career, and where he sees himself, like in this team and all of that. Because, like, I don't believe there's such thing as like being a bad player overnight. If I've seen enough where you got quality, but you got to start and show and prove. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, before he could control the ball well, I'm not going to say it's world class, overdo it and all of that. But he has a good first touch. But how do you go from that to you can't trap a bag of fucking cement? Do you know what I'm saying? It's just like absolutely ridiculous. You know, like turning into fidget spinner and that.
Were you not
Sorry?
impressed with it? Were you not? I felt like a lot of times Trossard was selfish and didn't find him. I think a lot of times he was in good positions where he could have got a couple of goals. I feel like today was a game that he was unlucky not to be in a score sheet. Trossard, I mean not Trossard. Sorry, Martinelli.
Yeah, no, like he like Trossard was mad selfish. There was a ball, first time or one touch whip. Do you know what I'm saying? No one can cross the ball, bro. It's either under hit, over hit, or if it's along the ground, they don't do it quick enough. It's not accurate enough. Like the weight of pass, yeah, is so important. You know, back in the day of like Becks and all of that, first time. Even fucking Stuart Downing, he was a bang average player back in the day. But now, if you put him in now, he'd actually look really good because at least he could cross the fucking ball. Like, bruv, like, yeah, Trossard was poor, man. And I rate Trossard as well, but, you know, like, he got his goal in the end, but, you know, you got to take your chances, man. If you're a real bad man, best believe that, yeah? Take your chances. You have to take your chances. But Martinelli, yeah, just very quickly, like, I think, yeah, he needs to go back to the drawing board, work on his, like, final end product, yeah, when it comes to the crossing, the passing and all that. Get back to, you know, your first touch. And you've got to improve your dribbling as well, yeah? Because you went from he can't do no wrong, like, you know, sourcing to scrubbing, bruv. I want him to be sourcing, but, you know, like, we'll just have to see. But there has to be a turning point, do you know what I'm saying? I ain't getting too gassed at all about this win. Yeah, it's cool, great. You know, 11 goals in 2 games, but I'm waiting for Porto, bruv. And you know all about Porto and all that, being Benfica and all that, Portuguese and all that, these feelers that Porto, like, they need to learn today, blood. Best believe that, yeah? Because if you think that we're real bad man, yeah? Real bad man, we'll put Porto away. Do you know what I'm saying? We'll beat them like 1 or 2-0 away from home, and then we'll beat them like 3-0 at home, like 5-0 in aggregate, if we were real bad man. But I don't see it, bruv. But if they prove me wrong, they prove me wrong. But like this, it's the quality of this squad that bothers me, bruv. It's not the first team so much, it's the bench, bruv. That bench is looking scary. Never mind Arsenal looks scary, that bench looks scary, bruv. Because there's always a stinker around the corner. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, like when you walk down a certain like street, a certain place that you like, you know is like a bad area, yeah, and you're not from there, but you always got to like look around. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what Arsenal's bench is like, bruv. There's always some madness around the corner, bruv. But we'll have to see, innit? We'll have to see.
No, 100%. I mean, listen, on the game, I feel like Trossard The only reason I'm not absolutely ripping into him, because best believe that was Jesus. So in Ketia, I'm ripping him. They're out and out number 9s. You know what I mean? They're out and out strikers. Trossard is filling in. Let's keep it real. He's filling in. That's not his natural position. So I'm cutting him some slack, but he does need to take a lot more of those chances, because up against better opposition, those kind of chances, you know, and we're not creating loads of chances, that can cost us. So I completely get where you're coming from, but I feel like with Trossard, it's like, you know, that's not his natural position. I'll cut him a bit of slack. And he had the confidence. At least he didn't put his head down. You know what I mean? He kept fighting, and he worked and created his own luck for that second goal. You know what I mean? For me, Martinelli was unlucky not to get on the score sheet because I feel like he was in very, very good positions, but they didn't look for him when they should have squared round. Obviously, the one that stands out the most is Trossard not squaring to him and trying to go around the goalkeeper. I feel like he should have either just slapped it or just square it to Martinelli. He's unmarked. He would have just tapped it in. But it is what it is. I think you're 100% correct when you're talking about the bench, because I had this with Dan Potts when I was on Dan Potts' channel. I said, even when we won against West Ham, me and Dan Potts both said, like, yo, if we have to rely on this bench, there's no one to rely on. There's no one to rely on. If you're looking at for a goal, even when you look at the substitutions, we're bringing on Nketiah, we're bringing on Emil Smith-Rowe, we're bringing on these players that are either not good enough or they haven't really proven themselves in an Arsenal shirt. So when the going gets tough, we don't have any options really off the bench. Let's just keep it real. Do you know what I mean? Jorginho had a good game a couple of games ago, but we've never seen Jorginho do it week in, week out. He's not a player that we can rely on week in, week out. He's never done it consistently for Arsenal. Then you're looking at players like Cedric that we tried to get rid of. You're looking at El Nene that since re-signing a new contract can't get into the game, can't get into the squad. You know what I mean? So that shows you what the manager thinks of him. You know what I mean? And you got Reece Nelson that's never done it also. You know what I mean? Runs around, looks a bit energetic, but are you going to count on him to fill in?
At least he takes his man on and he can cross the ball half decent at times, but again, it's inconsistent. And then you got the King of Zamunda, bro. Big up Matty, yeah, and all of that. Like, like that guy, bro. Yeah, that guy. You're on 100K a week, yeah. See, we know what Havertz is on, yeah, but Eddie Nketiah, yeah, 100K a week. You know, technically, if he was good enough, which clearly he ain't, you know, can represent England. You know, like the only other team would be, as far as I'm aware, Nigeria and all that, because Osman was stinky, bro. I watched the whole of the AFCON or bits and pieces of it. Osman was stinky. But anyway, like Eddie Nketiah, right? For me, I don't want to see him play another game again. There's no FA Cup. There's no League Cup. So there's no lower level opposition other than, what, Sheffield United? Because we've got to play them. We've got to play Luton at home. We've got to play Burnley at home as well. A few of those other teams. Even then, I don't want to see him play for this football club again, bro. Because even in 10, 15 minutes when he come on, bro, like stinky. Very, very stinky. When Havertz scores and you don't, and you're meant to be our second striker in terms of second in line and all that shit. Not like what Trossard's been put in to do. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. And one other thing. Don't you think that we could get more out of Trossard and Martinelli by swapping them round? So you put Martinelli up front and then you put Trossard on the left, because we saw what Trossard could do on the left when he scored the third and final goal against Liverpool. And we've seen Martinelli before, time and time again, one-on-one, centrally, runs in behind and all of that. We've got enough quality to put the right ball through, whether it's Ødegaard for the most part, Jorginho can definitely do it, and even Rice as well at times as well. Play that ball through, and then Martinelli can just slap it in, because that's his game. He's not a left forward. He's not a left winger. He's not an inverted, whatever the fuck you want to call it, like forward. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he's not a gunman either, though. I feel like I get what you're saying. I think you could play either one, but it's much of a muchness. Neither one of them are a gunman like that.
But that's all we got, bro. That's all we got, because Jesus ain't a gunman. We can both agree on that. Eddie Nketiah is a scrub. He's a certified scrub. And then you got Trossard. Yeah, he's a baller. But, you know, can you really rely on him to get goals? He's more of a creator and a dribbler and all that. Whereas Martinelli's got it. But I think for me, if you play him up front and you provide him the service, he'll give you way more in terms of movement and ability than what Eddie Nketiah, what Havertz will give you playing in that, you know, false nine or whatever. I'm not saying Martinelli's the answer, especially, you know, to play striker long term, like especially next season and going forward. But as an option, like right now, at least until the end of the season, can we do any worse? Because he can score, but if Arteta's like thinking, like, you know what, I'll keep playing Trossard, I'll keep playing Martinelli. What if I just switch them around, but give Martinelli a bit more of the ball? Because like you said earlier, we're not giving him enough of the ball when he's out on the left. It's more to Saka and all of that. But Saka don't really take on his man like he should. Like, he's great at back to goal, you know, roll, turn, and all of that. He's got strength. He can bruckman and all of that. But you know, we need a bit of directness. You know, when it comes to like the final third striker. Yeah, Martinelli ain't the biggest and all that. Cool, but I just think Arteta's just got to make that one switch. And it's not even just like a whole confusion thing. It's just what makes sense, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? We should have got an Ivan Toney. We didn't. That's my guy as well. Like, but it is what it is. We can't do nothing about that until like in the summer. Like, but this is the problem, innit? When you have a weak bench, you have to adapt. You have to, you know, change certain things, more like positions and personnel, innit? I think the tactics Arteta did today and against West Ham, spot on. I want to see that for the rest of the season. And then if we do that at the rest of the season, who knows? We have a chance. But I ain't going to get gassed and say, you know, we're going to go all the way. I ain't going to do a tie or anything like that. You know, none of these top gooners, mutants. Nah. Listen, we've seen this movie before, bruv. We've seen this movie before. Training Day, bruv. Groundhog Day. You know, Denzel and Bill Murray.
Around here, we give props where props is due. But yeah, no. We're not gonna do all of that because yeah, ain't that much changed. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, you know what I'm saying? We're playing well, but we're playing the way we played last season, and we haven't gone out there and got the striker that we needed, the bench that we needed to get us over the line and make that difference in the crunch end of the season. So for that reason, I still don't see us winning the league, but I have to give props where props is due. And today, there's not much more I could ask from today's performance. You know what I mean? So I'm very happy on today's performance. You know what I mean? But this comment here, I don't know if you agree with this. That's your opinion. Mine is that we still play control football, but the players feel much more confident. That's why the chances come and are taken. Bro, the reason we're playing different, yeah? When we counter-attack, we now commit more players forward. When we the problem was, when we was playing this control football, how many times does Saka be on the break? No one's running alongside him. How many times is Saka on the break and turn around and pass it back to Odegaard back to Rice? Now we're way more direct. Odegaard's getting the ball, looking forward, looking at his runners, seeing if Saka's making a run, seeing if Trossard's making a run, seeing if Martinelli's making a run. We are actually capitalizing on counter-attacks, bro. It's different to the way we was playing before. Before, we kept getting camped outside the opposition box. Now, as soon as we hit them on the break, we hit them with numbers. We're more direct in our passing, and we look to take shots a lot faster. Even in the box, we're not taking too many touches, in the box. Odegaard's goal, the first goal, literally receives the ball from Martinelli, one touch to control it, bang. Shoots put in the back of the net. That is more reminiscent of how we was playing last season to how we're playing how we was playing this season, playing a controlled football. And that's why we're looking a lot more dangerous. We're catching defenses off guard. We're catching the teams off guard. As soon as we get that ball and it's a counter-attack, we're looking forward, way more direct. Not like this controlled football. We weren't playing like this when we holding on against Nottingham Forest. We go 1-0 up and then everybody's just camping. And then every time we try to go on a counter-attack, we'd stop our own counter-attack. We'll go backwards instead of going forward. We wouldn't take on our man. We wouldn't attack spaces in and behind the defense. It was very easy to defend against. Whereas now, you know what I mean? You've got players trying to interchange with each other. We're looking forward. We're passing the ball a lot faster. I don't rate Havertz. He's keeping it ticking, but every time he'll pass it back to Odegaard, Odegaard's looking forward. It's literally 1-2 passes, boom, we're looking forward. We're going forward. We're committing men forward. So that's why I disagree with that. Do you think we're still playing controlled football?
The thing is, this whole controlled football, all of this like new school terminology, and look, I'm not that old, like I'm similar age to you, brother, but like I'm a very no nonsense guy, innit? Like I like to keep things simple, innit? And when you bring out all these not you personally, but like when too many people like bring out this terminology and all of that, like field tilt and ribs and bibs and all of that, you know, cut that shit out, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Go back to basics. Look at Real Madrid, right? Carlo Ancelotti, my guy, one of the greatest managers, for me anyway. Some will say Fergie, You know, obviously most of this fan base will still say Wenger, but it is what it is. You can even put Mourinho in that conversation. He plays a 4-4-2. I don't think he's changed the way he's played, other than formations in certain games here and there. But that's why he's an elite level manager still to this day, bruv. How old is he? How old is he? And yes, you can say they got Vinny, they got Rodrigo, you know, Bellingham doing his thing and all of that, you know, and they still got Kroos and Modric, at least till the end of the season and that. But they've had injuries and they're doing fine. You know, when it comes to the Champions League, this is my thing, right? Yeah, in the league, we can get to a certain point, but we still haven't got over the line. And in Europe, Arteta's record is shocking, bruv. All of this, like, bigger fish to fry. Well, I want to see that fish fried. Nice and succulent, tasty and all of that shit. None of this cremated crap, burnt to a crisp. That's not what I'm looking for, bruv. Because when it comes to Porto, yeah, I think in the end, we'll probably get over the line, unless we have an absolute shocker, which can always happen. But even then, in the quarterfinals, who are we going to get? We can get Man City. We can get Real Madrid. Now, I know Bayern Munich haven't been, you know, great for all intents and purposes this season. They lost to Leverkusen and that. But you think they're not going to turn up against us? Come on. And there's a few other teams in the mix as well. I think Inter is still in it or something like that. So when it comes to Europe, man, I want to see these players like tested. I want to see them like under pressure. We've seen earlier in the season that Jorginho, when there's a bit of pressure and he's a bit too deep and he gets caught lacking, that it cost us, innit? And we should have lost the game against Tottenham earlier on in the season at home. For me, yeah, I'm not convinced until we get over the line. When it comes to the league, it's got to be mathematically impossible for anyone to overtake us, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to the Champions League, I want Arteta to grow some fucking bollocks, yeah? Get some cojones and not just pick the right team, the right personnel, but make the right changes, make them earlier, keep it simple, play to your strengths, back to basics and all of that. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's the bottom line. If he sticks to that and we end up winning the Premier League and or we win the Champions League, cool, innit? For me, personally, if he don't win the Champions League, I think he has to go, innit? Even if we won the league, I'll be like, cool, you won the league, should have won it last year, but we got to go to the next level, innit? Like, we need Ancelotti, we need a Hansi Flick or someone of that ilk that can just bring that elite level mindset and mentality, and then we got to look up the board, get proper scouts and all that shit there. But I want to see how we do against Porto. Once we come up against Porto, is because that's next week, right? In a few days. Wednesday, yeah. So come Wednesday, yeah. If we put in a solid performance and we get a 1-2-0, I'll be like, cool. And then, you know, in the return leg as well, see the game out and all of that, get through to the quarterfinals, then I'll be like, looking good, but we'll still see how it goes. My thing is like, at the end of the day, this team has shown that when the pressure is on, it cracks, you know, and we've been papering over cracks. You know, we didn't do enough in January. We definitely didn't do enough in the summer either. So we're at the point now where we have to make sure that these players are fit, that they have to stay fit. If Gabriel and Saliba, either one of them or both get injured, we're fucked, bruv. It's game over, because who do we have? Kivior. We've been playing him left back. Yeah, he's been playing well the last couple of games, but that's the last couple of games, isn't it? Tomiyasu's still injured. Partey. You know, I know Declan Rice can technically fill in at centre back, but that ain't his, you know, position. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it can disrupt the rhythm of, you know, the team, especially with how we've been playing the last couple of days. Because I want this momentum.
People around. Yeah.
No, I hear that. I hear what you're saying. Ozzy, what are you saying, bro? What are you saying?
What are you saying, my guy? Northside, big up, man. I'm good. I'm good. Like you said, bro. Finally, you can watch an Arsenal match, relax. You get me? Just you know, not them ones where you're spilling your tea and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
PK, we'll get to your question. We'll get to your question because I think
you know them ones there. You feel like throwing the
Ozzy,
TV, bro.
What are you saying though? You happy about today's result?
Yeah, of course. Like at first, I was thinking, do you know what? we didn't really have to go past second gear in it. Burnley's Burnley, you know what I'm saying? Comfortable performance. Again, it's a confidence builder going into the next game and that. Obviously, nice to see that everyone's chipping in with the goals as well. I was surprised Havertz scored, but apart from the goal, the guy was useless again for me. Again, people say he nullifies space and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. I don't see it. But generally, 5-0, clean sheet, bring on Porto. That's, keep the confidence high, keep it ticking. We're playing the brand of football I think all of us want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like the huge difference is when we play that intricate passing, one, two touch football max, you see how effective it is. When we're trying to do this, oh yeah, wait, but keep hold of the ball. I know they say, what's it like? Possession football is 9/10 of the game and whatnot, but ultimately it don't win you games. There were times where we had like 70% possession and we'll scrape a 2-1 or we get a draw and the performance was crap. But at the end of the day, we all know if this team has space and can play that 1-2 touch football, we destroy teams. We play them off the park. We score goals. And goals win you games. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? And that's what we're seeing. And we're winning games. And everyone looks like confident. Everyone's chipping in. Obviously, we still don't have a gunman. Otherwise, we'd be winning games 8-9-0 and that. But yeah, we're scoring goals. We got a tougher test to come. So we need to go into them games with confidence, knowing that we can play teams off the park and it's going to help us going forward. The other thing I wanted to get my mind said a point as well, and I kind of agree with it. If they switch from Martinelli to Trossard, if they switch positions, I think Martinelli will be more effective. Because I don't know if you remember, but when we signed Martinelli in his first couple of games, he did kind of play that striker role and he did get goals. So I feel that might be more effective. Obviously, he's a little bit bigger in stature, could probably hold up the ball a bit better. But I'm willing to give it a chance, to be honest. I know he's not the answer as to a striker, but I feel he'll be more effective in that position, to be honest. But at the end of the day, we're scoring goals. The team's, playing good football, and we're keeping the pressure on, and that's what we need to do. Chelsea's winning at the moment. Hopefully, they can win that game. And it makes things interesting. You know what I'm saying?
I think with the Trossard and Martinelli thing, if you play Martinelli through the middle, when teams are more compact, Martinelli ain't that great on taking on his man unless he's got space. Where Trossard has the technique like Jesus to get round man, and I feel like his passing is better than Martinelli, like passing wise, and I think he's technically a better baller. When you're talking about in terms of goals, I know he predominantly plays as a left winger, but I don't see that he's a cooler finisher than Trossard. So there's more things that I can attribute to Trossard than Martinelli, if you know what I mean. Like Martinelli, as soon as you got a man on him, he struggles to get around him without space. Whereas Trossard, we saw it get in the last game against West Ham. Look at the way he's distributing the ball. So it gives you a little bit of that, what Jesus brings to the team. And he doesn't mind if he's got 2 or 3 players on. Trossard is able to shake off a player, bro. He's got that kind of tech, whereas Martinelli doesn't. Martinelli,
I get what you're saying. It's a bit more of a low gravity player in it, can get out of tight spaces. Martinelli sometimes does struggle. Yeah, I get
it's more
what
like futsal, isn't it? Like bit more like that.
If the DM is on him and a centre back, if the DM is on him and a centre back, I don't see Martinelli getting past.
Yeah, it's one of them ones where you got to look at the opposition you're facing, innit? I think in a low block, it's probably not gonna work. But if you're gonna play in teams where you can play your football, then yeah, I'm willing to give it a go. At the moment, when my thing is, and I hope we don't come across this, but my thing is how we're gonna play once we're getting into the later stages and teams, are looking for a point here and there, and they're thinking, you know what, let's just put 10 man behind the ball. At the moment, these last couple of games, we've been playing with teams trying to, play their football, trying to come at us. And to be honest, we've just been playing them off of the park. So my thing is, when we come against teams that are just going to be like, you know what, park the bus football, are we going to go to struggling again, trying to fight, play teams off the park when they're parking the bus? That's when we struggle. So my thing is, we need to find a way around that, because we're gonna come across it again.
100%.
And that's my only thing that I'm kind of like going forward worried about. Because
in certain games, right? In certain games, yeah, Martinelli, when there is space, when you can put it in behind, and I don't just mean like high press, but if there's enough space in behind, that's where I want Martinelli, like, playing that number 9, more out and out, can flow, confuse defenders and all that. But yeah, when it is, part the bus football, like the whole team behind the ball and that, like they're camped in their own box, then you put Trossard in that false 9 or whatever to create. And then either side, you can have your Martinellis and Sakas, do you know what I'm saying? But the point still remains, like Martinelli still needs to step his game up. We're creating a lot more chances, but we really need to make, like, because I don't think we've ever won a game 8-0. Definitely not in the league, not for years, bruv. And why can't we get a 9 and 10-0? We should have slapped West Ham 10. It should have been 10. Even Burnley, we could have got 8 or 9 because there was 10 minutes stoppage time, 100 minutes, bruv. So it's little things like that. And against better teams, if we don't take our chances, especially in Europe, we'll get punished. Even if we play the right system, have the right personnel, it's going to be squeaky bum time. Do you know what I'm saying? Because like when the pressure is on, Arteta has shown before he will crack. Now we all know he's an emotional guy. He's on that little man syndrome shit, yeah. But it's the truth, bro. But like he needs that composure. Martinelli needs a lot more composure on the ball. I think the problem is today too many players, yeah. Even if they have a bit of tech like Martinelli, even Saka's got good fundamentals. Erdegaard's got a bit of tech, but they're a bit too frantic at times. You know what I'm saying? You want to play it quick, one touch, yeah? Let the ball do the work. Calm. I love that. That's great. That's how I want to see us play. And that's how we can be effective. And we've seen it in the last 2 games. But against better opposition, you won't get that time. You won't get that space. So you have to adapt. And you need a manager as well. You need a head coach to keep his head. Do you know what I'm saying? Because then it will reflect on the pitch. We've seen last season when the cracks show, yeah, like our heads just go. Do you know what I'm saying? Even Gabriel Magalhaes will make a mistake. Saliba's made mistakes before, and other players as well. So and even Rice this season, like every now and then, even though he has been very, very good so far, I'm just keeping it all like level-headed because we've seen this movie before. We've been here before. I just want us to do what needs to be done and work with what we've got until the end of the season, because we ain't, there's no Ivan Toney. We didn't buy anyone, in January. So we're going to have to, stick to what we know, go back to basics and just basically make sure we have the right personnel for the right game, and then, like make the right changes at the right time as well, rather than doing the Unai Emery, scratching your chin and, and all of that, like just, nah, I don't want to see that. I want to see.
I hear what you're saying. I wanted to get into this question by PK. You man still Arteta out? Well, I still am, because I don't see what would make me change my mind. Did anyone predict any Arsenal fan predict Arsenal to lose today? No. But the thing is, last season showed that we under this manager we can compete. My problem is, can we get it over the line? And I still ain't seen this manager get it over the line. And I still ain't seen this manager address the things to get us over the line. The question marks that I had last season are still not been answered by this manager. Like I said 100 times, the striker, the bench. So because we haven't addressed that, why would I be more confident of winning it last season when we had no Europe? And we only had one competition to focus on, and we bottled it. And now this season we've got Europe. We haven't addressed our weaknesses, And just because we're playing scintillating football again, we did this last season. What's the difference? I don't get what the difference is. We played like this last season. You know what I mean? So for me, the weaknesses haven't been addressed, and it's going to be interesting to see how this manager balances the Champions League and the league, because the bench ain't good enough. We can all agree to that. When you look at this bench, is that good enough? You know, and now we're going into the crunch end of the season and the crunch end of the Champions League. So you can't say bigger fish to fry. We have to turn up against Porto. You know, we can't overlook Porto. You know what I mean? We lose 2 games, boom, we're out. So at the end of the day, it's one of them ones where it's like he hasn't allowed himself to rotate the team the way we would like to. You know, if you take Saka out, are you confident with Reece Nelson? If you take out Trossard, you happy with Nketiah? You take Odegaard out, you know what I mean? Are you happy with Jorginho? You know, this is what I'm saying. It's not that great. It's really not that great, you know, and this is the problem that I have. So why would I change my mind? I can praise a performance. Today's performance was excellent. So what else am I going to say? Oh, it was rubbish. I'll be lying. The performance matches the result, just like it did against West Ham, just like it did against Liverpool. We played well, and we deserved the 3 points, and we deserve the scoreline is a good reflection on the game. If we played poorly, I'd say we played poorly, but I think we played really, really well. There's one thing beating these teams, but we made West Ham look average. We made Burnley look average. And I know they may be average, but you still got to do it. You still got to perform. You still got to bury them. You still got to kill them off. You know what I mean? And today, this is exactly what I want to see. 2-0 up. Go into the second half. Boom. Within 5 minutes. 3-0 up. That's what I want to see. This is what I've been asking for. So when I get what I'm asking for, you're going to see me complain. But in the totality of where we're going to end in the season, I don't see it being any different to last season. I don't see it being any different. Who's going to get us over the line? People are talking about injuries. Someone put up in the comments, oh, injuries. Oh, because you've got injuries. First of all, you don't know how good Urin Timber is. You liked him when he played 1 or 2 games, but ultimately you don't know how good he would be in a whole season. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to overanalyze the player, because people overanalyze Nketiah because he scored 3 goals against Sheffield United. Is anyone calling for Nketiah to start? So I ain't going to say that Timber's trash, but I'm not going to overgas him because we don't know how good he is. Then you look at Thomas Partey. He's too injury prone. And Thomas Partey, we had Thomas Partey last season. Did we get over the line? No, we didn't. So Thomas Partey coming in makes us stronger in options, but isn't going to be the difference of Arsenal getting over the line and winning the league as to Arsenal not winning the league. Then you're looking at Tomiyasu. He's out as well. He's never had a consistent run. So how does that change our chances of winning the league when he's inconsistent? Then we're talking about Fabio Vieira. He ain't good enough. If we put together the best midfield at Arsenal, he's not in it. And when we're talking about game changers, nobody really be looking at Fabio Vieira saying, oh, he's a game changer. Get him on. We need a goal. Get him on. So we had Fabio Vieira last season. Was he the difference of us getting over the line? I don't really understand it. Then we got Jesus. Same thing. And Zinchenko. Zinchenko doesn't suit playing as a left back, and Jesus has never been a gunman. So getting all these players back, how does that make our chances of winning the league, not competing, winning the league higher? When we had these players last season and they weren't good enough to get us over the line. It's just literally having the same as we had last season. What's the difference? I don't understand it, but it sounds good. Oh, we have too many injuries. When we get them back, what do you mean when we got them back? We had them last season. What happened? I don't know. But yeah. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think that our chances, of winning the league was a lot higher when we get these players back from injury, or do you just think we got better options, but doesn't mean that we got a better chance of winning the league?
Yeah, I think like similar like to what you're saying. It's just like, yeah, we had Partey, we had Tomiyasu at certain points even last season. Yeah, Timber's a new addition, so is Rice, but it's like the Havertz signing is the be all and end all for Arteta. Do you know what I'm saying? He knows that he has to deliver this season. He has to either win the league or the Champions League. Now, if I was Josh Kroenke, if I was any of like the board of directors or anything like that, I'd be telling Arteta, I'll bring him to the side and just like, look, mate, if you don't win the Champions League, yeah, you're gone, mate. Because we should have won the league last season, we didn't. But even then, if that was me, I wouldn't have even given him another chance, because I still want this manager gone for now. But the only way that I would have him at the start of next season if he wins the Champions League, because then he's done something that not even Wenger's done, innit? And then you've got to hold your hands up and say fair play. And yes, it is a long shot. Don't get it twisted. It's a long shot. But for me, yeah, Do I want to win the league? Absolutely. But if we won the Champions League, if we done a Chelsea basically, missed out on the league, but we won the Champions League, I'll be like, you know what? Fair enough. But even then, like Arteta's European record, it is horrible. It is filthy, bro. Like it doesn't fill me up with any confidence. And then going into the league as well, you know, you can take Saka and Ben White off, but can you manage that in the crunch time? And again, it's all about pressure. Can Arteta hold his nerve this time around with 1 year's more experience? I'm not convinced. Until he does it, you know, I'm still going to be, you know, reading from my same hymn sheet. Do you know what I mean?
No, I hear that. Yeah, I hear that. This comment here, give the youth a chance at 4-0 instead of wasting a sub on Eddie. His lack of footballing IQ is infuriating to watch. What do you make of this Aussie, bro? Because we had Bandeira, which is a midfielder, a young midfielder.
Nah, I agree. Listen, I've been saying from last season, yeah, long way from last season, and maybe even before. I've watched Nketiah live, like at the Emirates, yeah. The guy is a tapping merchant at best. He is championship level at best. He's played for Leeds and couldn't even get a game. And I don't agree more. Like his footballing IQ, he's not the guy. He's not the guy that's gonna get you 15 goals. He's had the 100+ games for Arsenal. He ain't even scored 20 goals. And people's excuses, oh, but he only gets 10 minutes. He only gets 15 minutes off the bench. He's not good enough. He's just not good enough. Realistically, I don't know why we sold Balogun. I think the only reason why we sold Balogun was it was probably the best price we was going to ever get for him, and we would have known if he worked out or not. But I said, if you would keep one or the other, Balogun 100%. But I don't think neither of them would have been the answer, regardless of like what we need up front. They're not like an Ivan Toney or these big man strikers that are going to bag you goals. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm Nketiah, I'm tired of. Nelson, I'm tired of. I love Partey, don't get me wrong. I love Partey, but to be honest, he's too injury prone for me to, you know, want to keep at the club now. And considering if you're going to keep him for another year or so, you're not really going to get much money for him. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like our bench, yeah, having Partey available, having Tommy Ace available is better options. But are they difference makers? They're not difference makers. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Thomas Partey to a certain extent on his day, though, on his day. Other than that, our bench is, to be honest, apart from Tomiyasu and who else? I think, yeah, and Timber, obviously, Timber was great when he came in. You know, the guy who came out flying off the box, everyone was rating him, but 4 or 5 games is not enough to rate a player, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, I'll scrap the whole bench. If it meant we can get a bags man and get rid of the whole bench, I would do it like yesterday, not today, yesterday. And the thing is, people, every time, I'm sick and tired of this as well, yeah. Every time Arsenal on this little nice run, play 4 or 5 games, they expect our stance to change on the manager. It don't make a difference. We've said if this man don't win the league or the Champions League, he's got to go. Winning against Burnley 5-6-0, going on a little run, winning 5-6 games is not going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to touch it in. This is a simple mathematics. Win me the league, win me a trophy. All right, cool. For me, you've justified your position. You don't. It's 4 years. You spent the money. You've had a good go at it. But you're not the guy to get us over the line. Goodbye. It's as simple as 3-4 games winning 5-6-0, 7-0, whatever is not gonna change. It's a season, it's not 5-6. It's not like a 5-game tournament. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I hear that. The thing is, he made a great point about the youngsters, because when we won against West Ham in the 77th minute, Nwari got a couple of minutes. You know what I mean? But why is he not bringing on Walters? Like Walter's been on the bench all the time, doesn't get a game. Bandera doesn't get a game. It's like, what's the point? And then he's expecting these youngsters to come on and fight for a position in the team, but you never consistently give them any minutes or a chance to prove themselves. They'll get a couple of minutes and then you don't see them for time. So it's like, bro, it's long. It's actually long. Like, it's like, bro, if this, I just don't get it. How are the young players coming through when the majority of them get no minutes? Then when one of them gets a couple of minutes, he's coming on to have what? 20 minutes. What's he going to affect the game with 20 minutes? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if we're putting these teams to bed, consistently get out these youngsters, give them some minutes, give them that hope that they, you know, if they prove themselves, they will get more minutes. Look at, Connor Bradley at Liverpool. You know what I mean? Look at Oscar Bob at Man City. Look at these players that are getting way more minutes than our youngsters. Our youngsters don't get no minutes. Instead of bringing on the same old repetitive crap that we know ain't good enough. Cedric's coming off. We know he's going. What's the point of him coming off? Nketiah, you know he's going to be sold. He's going to be sold. The manager's preferring to play Trossard through the middle when you've got your second option striker that you re-signed to a new contract on the bench. You know he's out of favor with him. So it's like, just play these players from the youth academy and see if something sticks. See if one of them work. You know what I mean? I completely agree with what you're saying.
But it shows mismanagement, Northside. Like, you know, how many offers have we had for Eddie Nketiah, right? 20, 25, 30 million, I think, or thereabouts recently. And then, like, this board and Arteta, like Edu and Arteta are just like, no, we want to keep him. Why? If we're under, you know, FFP strengths, you know, profit and sustainability and all that garbage, yeah? Start selling these players. You know, get rid of the Reece Nelsons. Don't do the cheap and cheerful option. Get rid of these fucking scrubs, man. Get rid of Reece Nelson. Get rid of Eddie Nketiah. Get rid of El Nene. If he wants to be a coach, fine, not a problem. I've got nothing against El Nene, but clearly he ain't the guy. He can do it elsewhere. He can do it in Egypt, bro. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like it's look, on a real, it's just the same fucking crap. All I want to see is this team to do well. Arteta's had long enough, like you said, Ozzy. He's had the money, he's had the backing, he's been backed more than any other manager. I'm not going to include Wenger because Wenger was on that Mugabe shit. Do you know what I'm saying? That's a totally different like ball game like he was playing. But like at the same time, you know, can the youth, you know, the project youth, yeah, can they do any worse? Yeah, why not bring the Walters and Mwaris on, you know, all the time, and the other guy, I don't know if he's Brazilian or Portuguese or wherever he's from, yeah? Why can't they get a game? You know, instead of like, other than, you know, for the likes of Jorginho in certain games, why are we bringing Cedric on? Why are we bringing, you know, Nketiah on, Reece Nelson? I would fucking put Havertz on the bench as well, bruv. He shouldn't be starting. He shouldn't be starting because Havertz, yeah, the only time you can really bring him on is if we're 2-3-0 up, shithousery settings here. You know he'll put a boot in. You know he'll disrupt the opposition. You know he'll be a pain in the ass. But like to start the game, nah, bruv. It's just, you know, we don't sell well, and like we're in a position now where we're gonna have to make certain adjustments that if we'd have done the right thing in January and even in the summer, you know, we would be in a much better position, even if we were on like similar points, you know, because the league's a bit tight at the moment. But again, like this club, man, this club, like Bournemouth level board, yeah, I'm sick of it, bro. I'm sick of it. Until I see armpits in the air and all of that, yeah, I'm not convinced, bro. I'm not convinced, because at this point, I'm just like, you know, let's say we don't win the league or the Champions League, which is the most likely. I'd be like, reset the club. Bring in Ralph Rangnick because, you know, Man United, you know, lost out on him and all that shit. Bring in Hansi Flick. That combination, bruv, that's elite level. Beatles setting, so like Letterman and McCartney in that. Why not, innit? Why not? Get some proper structure. We need, forget open heart surgery, brain surgery. We need full body surgery at this football club. If we want to be elite, yeah, Real Madrid settings, you know, to win the Champions League, yeah, at Real Madrid, it's not expected. It's standard. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's the level, bruv. Like that's the level. Like, but over here, it's just like it's a miracle. Why does it have to be a miracle? I thought we have the best young manager in world football. I thought we have the best technical director. He won an award for it. He won an award.
These guys are apprentices, bruv. They've just finished.
They're rookies, man.
They just finished their degree. They've been here 4 years. They just finished their degree at Arsenal. You know what I'm saying?
I want to get Central Man in before we wrap up. Central Man, what do you make of today's performance, bro?
Yeah, it's been good. 5-0. It's predictable. That's all I can say.
That's all I can say. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, that's all I can say. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, but it's true. It don't change anything. It's another 3 points.
Man's like, yeah. Next one. Now I hear it, man. I hear it. Listen, I get it, innit? Because how happy can you really be? It's against Burnley, but at the same time, what's nice is that we're doing it convincingly. That's the thing that I'd like. That we're playing consistent. We're building on every win. We're being consistent. We're burying teams, and we're looking good. And I got to give props to Mikel Arteta. I cuss him a lot. I still don't rate him, but I can give him props where he does things right. And I think in the last 3 games, he's got things right. He's playing us to our strengths. The football's looking better. The players are performing better. Players that weren't performing or looking a little bit under the weather, they're now looking a lot better. And listen, we'll see where it goes. For me, I can't lie, guys, bro. Like, I can only be so happy because certain things ain't been addressed. I can only be so happy. Like, I'm always happy when Arsenal win, but I can only be so happy because I just feel like at the end of the season, we're going to still sit here and say, we didn't win the league. Why didn't we do this? Why didn't we do that? Why didn't we do this to cross the line? I still feel like we're short. And that is why the happiness is short-lived with Arsenal, because it's like, okay, cool, we won a game. Okay, cool. Okay, the next game. Okay, the next game. But it's like, okay, when eventually we're going to, even the fact, yeah, that certain Arsenal fans are saying it's better to chase than to be chased. That just shows me a lack of mentality. A lack of mentality. It's basically, don't put the pressure on the players now, save it for later. But eventually, they're going to have to face that pressure, because come May, we've got 5-6 games to win the league, and that's pressure. When you're in the title race and you got to get it over the line, and everything that you do, every game is a must win, or City go above you or you go above them, that's pressure, no? So you can't avoid pressure forever when your ambition as a football team is to win the league. So for me, it doesn't fill me with a lot of hope that come the pressure in May, if we're still in the title race, that these men are able to hack it. Because already the fan base are indirectly saying they can't hack it. They can't hack it, which is why we want to be. That's why we want to do the chasing. So the pressure ain't on us now. These players should be able to handle pressure. They've come to Arsenal Football Club. You've not gone to, with all due respect to Burnley, where there's not the expectation is just to survive the Premier League. The expectation isn't to win major honours. So you should accept when you sign that contract that the expectation is pressure. Players expect it when they go Real Madrid or when they go Bayern Munich, that the expectation is pressure. This expectation is to win, and with winning comes pressure. And this is the thing, when people say, oh, their mentality is different. I don't know about that. Yeah. I don't know if the mentality is different. But
a winning mentality is a winning mentality. At the end of the day, it don't change nothing. You know what I'm saying? If you're a winner, you're a winner. If you're a loser, you're a loser. If you crack under pressure, you crack under pressure. I don't see like what difference it makes. What's the difference in mentality? What, the mentality is not to win? What, the mentality is just to put pressure?
Well, that's what the fan base was celebrating last season.
Sorry, enough said. Yeah, I know it's not you, but these men that say the mentality is different. What's different? Is the mentality not to win, or is it to put pressure, or is it be happy we're just competing because we wasn't competing all these years, bro? I don't want to just compete. I don't support a football club just to compete. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. No, I hear it. And yeah, man, it's one of them ones. Listen, we got Porto on Wednesday. Porto. Hopefully we perform. Hopefully the pressure of playing in the Champions League doesn't get to these foolish that puta. You know what I mean? And they perform. So listen, end of the day, we gotta go out there and perform, man, and perform, because Arsenal's embarrassed us a lot in our lifetime in Europe. Let's not forget that. You know what I mean? We've been embarrassed a lot of times in Europe. So listen, hopefully that changes, man. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm just taking.
We've got to bridge that gap, Northside. That's the bridge that we've got to gap. We got to bridge that gap. Everyone talks about bridging the gap. Well, we've bridged the gap, you know, like in the league and all of that shit. Yeah, we need to bridge the gap in Europe. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm sick and tired of Chelsea fans saying we'll see things that you'll never see. Yeah, because if we win the Champions League, yeah, they can't really say that, even though their European record will still be better. But still, man, like, yeah, we can't bottle it, but we'll just have to see at the end of the season, man. Period.
No, it's one of them ones because I'm seeing a lot of Arsenal fans saying that Europe is crap this year. It's not the same teams. They barely fear anyone. If that's the case, then we should win it. At least minimum get to the final, but we should win it. If they're disregarding Europe so badly, then we should win it then.
9 players in our side.
Be the minimum expectation.
No, if we're so great and they're so bad, we should win it now. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, it is what it is.
Ancelotti's a wash manager. That's what I've been hearing. Ancelotti's a wash manager because he only took Everton to ninth. Everton, bro.
Listen, when we get knocked out of Europe, then it'll be because we want to focus on the league. We want to focus on the league. You know what I'm saying? That's what it'll be, bro. Trust me, these man, I'm telling you, they'll be like, I thought you man told me that Europe is easy this season.
Bruv, they've got one excuse left, yeah, and I don't agree with it, yeah. There's one excuse that they only got. Oh, we didn't have a striker. They've used every single excuse. Last season it was injuries. We didn't have a bench. Yeah. Oh, it's not a finished project. What now? What's the excuse now? What's the excuse? We don't have a striker. Whose fault is that?
Yeah, but when we've been calling it out ever since January, still calling it out, saying that we're too weak, we're getting called toxic and negative for calling it out.
But another excuse they're going to play is, oh, okay, you want to replace him? Who'd you get?
They can't think of a name. They're stumped. They're completely. They're not even stuttering. They're like,
No, it's not realistic or with FFP. That's the two excuses. It's either not realistic or FFP.
You know, realistically, on the subject of managers, the turnout of like these new generation managers, but it's
Hansi Flick's available. I've already said it earlier on the show. Hansi Flick's available. Get rid of Edu. Get rid of the guy and bring in Ralf Rangnick. Why not? Both of them can work. They both speak German. You know, Havertz is German.
But the thing is when you're looking at the CV, they've been there and done it. That's the thing, isn't it?
It is one of them ones, man.
We don't want just another trial with a different manager, man. We need someone that's been there and done it.
Listen, big up to you, man, bro. Love for jumping on. Love to Natstar Aussie Central, man. You know what I mean? Big up to everyone in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe. Do all that good stuff. I'm going to get ready now. I'm going to a Kizomba party in Peterborough. So, yeah, I'm going to be living life. I'm going to be enjoying. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And, yeah, man, listen, good win. Still don't think we're going to win the league. But, yeah, good win. Hopefully we can continue this momentum going into the Porto game and we get the job done. Hopefully we keep this up to the end of the season so we can win the league. But that's another conversation.
I said, you want to be in the mud, bro.
Yeah, I'm in the mud. I'm in the mud with my Versace glasses, bro. I couldn't care less. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Listen, people, make sure you like and subscribe. Without further ado, we're out. Love.